Good morning, traders. So let's get cracking with the Dow. Okay, so we had the interest rate announcement yesterday, and clearly that was not what the market was waiting for. So who knows what's going on? But anyway, so I think my original question on whether this was an exhaustion bar or not is starting to bear dividends. Okay, we've still got 2 more days in the week, so let's not count our chickens before they hatch. So this level is could very well be rejected. Okay, we need to wait till Friday close to see if that's true or not. But at this stage, that's what looks like is going on. Okay, let's just get down to the daily. Right, so let's just adjust this line slightly to there. Okay, which ties up with this pin bar, pretty much that pin bar, and also those 2 days there. So that's pretty much what the level is. Now, if remember what I've been saying on all these videos, that was a bearish signal. There was another bearish signal. Then we had an indecision signal. Now we've had a confirmation bar. Okay, so this is a confirmation bar that price is turning. So we've got a rounding top. Now, bear in mind, price turning and price falling is 2 different things. Okay, so this thing could just be gathering some steam. It could be just come down to what would be nice is a bounce off Tekinson here before a move to the upside. Okay, so that could very well play out. What we do have here is we've had a 1 bar test of this level on this day here, and we haven't had another test. We also have so we've got a Brooks gap on the daily open down here, and we also have one open over here. So let's just put a Fibonacci on this. Okay, and you will see that a 50% Fibonacci gets us to test this level, and a 61.8 gets us to test this level, which is also a retest of the cloud area. Okay, whether we go that far or not is another question, but those are downside targets from a daily perspective. Okay, let's just get to 4 hour. I mean, talk about frustration. You know, we sit and basically hover for how long, you know, and waiting for all the news to come out, and then there's nothing in the news that actually excites anybody, and we start selling. But yeah, the market dynamics are very interesting when it comes to the Dow, because it has a habit of trapping you if you want to be a bear. Anyway, so there is a Brooks gap, which we are hovering on at the moment. Okay, I think the key thing here on the higher time frames is you can see how Ichimoku is starting to turn around. So you can see how Chico Spain is breaking through price. We haven't had a crossover yet, and I think the cloud is probably still very thick. Yeah, very thick, and pretty much still pointing kind of in the upward direction. So I don't see anything here that is screaming at me. So let's just get to the hour. Okay, so this, okay, you can see the gap down that we had with FOMC been announced, and then the speech happened, and we start falling. So just, I think the fascinating thing for me is that the rate hike was anticipated, and you would have thought that all this noise would have been built into the price, but there were still some players out there that were pushing it to the downside. But okay, so they just focus on the price and not get emotional about it. But at least now we've got some direction. So which way are we going? At this stage, the 1 hour is bearish. Okay, so ideally what you're looking for is any retracement to the upside, you're looking to be short. Okay, provided, so all you want to basically maintain is you want to maintain that price stays below the cloud, stays below Tekinson, this blue line on the hour. That'll give you the indication of the trend, where the trend is going. Okay, so you can see here we start moving to the upside, how it stays above Tekinson and keeps moving to the upside, and pretty much until it crosses over here, at that point where you start getting worried about what's going on. Okay, now what you do need to understand though with the Dow is downward moves like this are scalps. Okay, so it could come to this level, it could potentially fall down to the next level, it'll find support somewhere, yeah, and when it does find support, it bounces like this. Okay, so whatever you are, if you are short, you're looking for shorts, you've got to keep those stops tight to the Dow, because it's notorious for moving to a level and trapping you and then continue on its merry journey to the upside. Okay, so yeah, so for now, I think it's safe to say that we are going to get some more downside, and obviously you don't want to be short at this level, you want to be short at a higher level, so you want to wait for it to bounce the upside and then take the trade to the downside. So in order to do that, what I do is typically go to the lower time frames. Okay, and you can see if you're trading on the 12 minutes last night, you would have seen a break through the cloud here, and wait for FOMC to happen. This is where FOMC happened here, and you can see we came back to test the break of the cloud, inside bar, off the 200 moving average. That's your signal there. So it's off a level underneath the cloud, and short you go. Okay, and at this stage, if you were short from there, you'd still be holding the short. There's no reason to get out of it just yet. Okay, once you start getting a crossover of Tekinson and Kijinson, and Chico Span starts wanting to move back through price, and you start seeing the cloud starting to twist, that's your cue to get out of it. So would I go short at this level? Highly improbable, highly unlikely. Okay, because I'd prefer to be in up at the top by the cloud here. Okay, you can still take the short here, but your stop needs to be pretty close here. But we're also at a level, so it's kind of, I hate trading a break of a level. It's too 50-50 for me. Okay, so yeah, so I think short is the play, but for me, I'm looking for a better bounce. Okay, so I'm looking to be short higher up. So the alternative for me is to wait for a level to get hit and take the long. The long may be the right trade, or it may be the scalp. But that's kind of what I'm looking at. So I'll be looking at this level here. I'll be looking at this pin bar. Okay, and then you can see there's a whole lot of levels to the downside where that one first, and then that one. So you can see what I'm doing on the tail, on the Brooks gap, on the tail there, on the tails. I typically ignore these levels because there's a massive Brooks gap here. So normally, if this Brooks gap breaks, you'll find a bit of resistance here, but the buyers will be down here. Okay, so that's kind of my play at this stage. And I suppose what we could also do here is just measure this range. It's 148, 150 odd takes us to the bottom of the cloud here. So this area here would be a pretty interesting area to look for a long. It may just be a bounce back to test the cloud before another move to the downside, or alternatively it could be the consolidation to break the top here. Okay, so that's kind of my play. So if we do bounce up and start giving bearish action up near the cloud here, or even near Kevenson and Tekinson on the hourly, I'll take the short. Alternatively, if price keeps moving to the downside and we start finding some support down here in any one of these levels here, I'll look for the long. Okay, that's kind of the way I'm going to play it, and just be careful. The shorts are still scalps. This is not necessarily an indication of a pullback, because on the daily, well, not on the daily, but on any price action, you'd want a second attempt before a move. You can see here was an attempt, came down, consolidated, a second attempt at making a high. It did make a high, then was a confirmation bar to move to the downside. So this has been the first attempt at this high, which is failing. So there's always a possibility that we can get a second attempt up. And on the daily, we are bullish. Okay, we're a little bit tired up here, but we are bullish. So you would ideally, what you want to see is a pullback to one of these levels here, in this zone or in this zone here, before you start looking for a long again. Okay, and the reason for that is you can see this in the ichimoku. You can see everything on the ichimoku on the daily is bullish. So you're waiting for this retracement to come back here or here before you get long again. Okay, anyway guys, that's the Dow for me this morning. Just stay safe if you're short, keep those stops really tight, and bank profit often. Shorts are your scalps. And enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll catch you guys later. Cheers, man.